I'd like to read a poem for you today by a wonderful poet called Tuba from Philadelphia in America. She's on TikTok. Her handle is @Muslim@Law. She's a lawyer, law student, and a wonderful poet. Dear Palestine, they say there are children in Gaza. I ask where? They say, check beneath the rubble for fingers sprouting like wilted flowers in a dead sea. Say to the white and blue, if only you knew. There are keys to this land that are older than you. Land where Zatur once grew, where shadows dance, where east met west, where the mirage was set, where Fatayr and Fairuz met. Sunday mornings. Now follow the fires. Follow the smoke-filled mosques and the poisoned waters. Check the checkpoints where colonizers point guns in the mouths of children too small to pronounce the word intifada. Revolution. Check the schools made of furniture blown to bits. Check the cracks in the wall where sunlight is the only thing they let in. A siege so suffocating it reminds us we can't breathe. That resistance is a language universal from Ferguson to Bet Hanim, from DC to Palestine. Bodies become battlegrounds when one terrorist group trains another, when one child is ripped from mother, and if he resists because he is human, then tase him. Because nothing about this is sacred. This is occupation. This is damned if you left, damned if you stayed. This is lost birthdays and unmarked graves. This is the West birth the issues, and it is always your people who pay in their body, blood, and tears. This is when you have nothing. There is nothing to fear. This is not knowing whether you'll wake up to the Adan or bombs. This is what $3.8 billion looks like. This is erasure. This is rock and slingshot and Molotov. This is your people will never be erased. So let your anthem ring for the world to hear. And don your colors with pride. Green for your grandmother's olive trees that they raised. Red for your uncle's spilled blood and the shattered graves. White for the light that the martyrs see before uttering their last words. There is no God and long live Palestine. Black for the funerals they didn't let you pray, for the Nakba and for your ancestors. For your ancestors who stayed. This is catastrophe. This is a violent and unforgiving taking, and maybe I'm mistaken, but I missed the part where there were two sides to genocide and war crimes were justified. Because US, UK politicians make ethnic cleansing appear sanctified. I guess anything goes in this country when it's attached to a dollar and pound sign, dear Palestine. Know that the people have taken your side, and we are here until the smoke clears, until black and white is worn only for brides. Until echoes of your revolution have transcended both river and sea, until you and your children and your children's children can finally breathe, until the siege is lifted, until the wall collapses. Know that no matter how many times they try to rewrite the maps, this is your mother's land, and this is yours alone. From Rafah to Ramallah, from Nablus to Al-Quds, know that the fire inside is one they can never extinguish. know that they cannot shackle your rage, they cannot rape your resistance, they cannot murder this movement. Even if they tried, you let them know that the old are still with us and the young have not forgotten. Dear Palestine, know that no matter how many villages they burn, we are in this, and we will resist until you and your children and your children's children will return.
My name is Osama from Nablus, Palestine. I would like to introduce myself that I've lost to this genocide my son Mustafa, 17 years old, in Turkaren. They shot him with a drone and we don't know where is his body. We don't know whether he's still alive or dead. Spent months trying to find him, and all my trial was in vain. Anyway, it's not about me, it's not personal. We don't play the victim game here. Palestine has been working like the minaret of hope and the catalyst for the globalized community. It's very important. Every local injustice is global. And this smaller community within this city town is hugely important for the global justice. Whether it's the doctors, the nurses, the MPs, the journalists, the actresses, the actors, the children, the mothers, the fathers, you all matter. What we need to do, we need to find community-based activities that plug us into action. And that can be your school, your street, your drawing, your painting, your words. Every little word does make a lot of difference. About 20 years ago, I was sitting with a few crazy people on mental medication in Greece, preparing to sail to Gaza. 2006, the idea started. 40 of us. We continued. 20 years later, a few months back, we've organized the biggest flotilla to go to Gaza with over 42 nations. So yes, it took about 20 years, but we've grown from 42 crazy person into 42 nations. And in April, we're going again. And today, I'm pleased to tell you that we are now reaching over 100 boats that will be sailing again in April towards Gaza. And think of it, a small tiny land is attracting Donald Trump to lead a committee and Tony Blair and the whole world. Why? We're not vast, we don't have petrol, we don't have, but what we've got the power to bring people against their differences to be united. Palestine is about the only cause that bring us all together, young and old, Christian and Muslim and Jews, and it doesn't matter who you are, but you are all united when it comes to Palestine. That is scary. You know why? Because the system wants us to be individualized, depressed. So we do shopping therapy to give them more money. Otherwise, you won't. How would they make you do that? By making you feel lonely, isolated, hopeless, powerless, and your little me thing that do shopping. And here comes Palestine, where Palestine show you how unstoppable you are when you come together. And that is the scariest commodity that Palestine and Gaza have. The ability to bring us together, cross nations. Give me one cause on earth that galvanized millions and millions of people in the streets apart from the Palestinian cause. There isn't. And that is the true threat that Palestine is posing. And guess what? We've done it before. Palestine has produced so much love and solidarity with the world from 6,000 years ago. Go back and read history. So this is the real reason they want us to be silenced, and they will not succeed. Simply because they are fighting against a culture. And you know what I mean by a culture? I'm talking about that culture, you know? That when you have, when the doctors take it out of your blood and, they're looking for that culture. It's a very small, tiny things, you don't mess with it. It's a bit lethal if you mess with it. And culture exists to live forever. And you cannot defeat the culture with your powerful machines and ugliness and segregation and war. So Palestine will be victorious. The world order will be changed because of Palestine. And look at what's happening around because of what Palestine is doing. And inshallah, we will be part of a movement that treat everybody with an equal exchange rate, where the life of the children does matter, regardless of who you are and which religion you are and which color you are. And this is where we need to galvanize, do more community stuff, and keep on going towards one liberation for the nation and us, the nation, all of us in the world. Thank you. I don't know what I was supposed to say, but just wanted to give you a cheer. Thank you very much for being here today. Thank you very much for being the decentralized distribution for this justice cause and for your families. Keep on going. Please support. Keep on turning up.
What we have witnessed in Gaza is a genocide. Last year I saw it with my own eyes. Houses destroyed as far as you can see. Not one property undamaged. Throughout the bombardment and the invasion, the Liberal Democrats and I have called for a ceasefire, for sanctions on Netanyahu, his ministers and his government, and a ban on military exports from the UK. Although we have a ceasefire now, it is in name only. People are still being killed and they are starving. We've got a system that is rigged against us. The petition that Christine mentioned from 800 people in Woking was tried to be presented in Parliament and the House of Commons rejected it. It is like our voices are refusing to be heard. However, I'm pleased that we finally got the government to recognise Palestine as a sovereign state. That is the birthright of Palestinian people, and it's about time that happened. What we need is to fully open the aid channels into Gaza, to allow journalists, human rights workers in to monitor what is happening, so we can know the truth. And so importantly, to ensure that those that are accountable for what has happened are held to account and see the inside in international courts. Ahmed, thank you and others for putting this event together so we can remember those that have died and been killed in Gaza.
On a national level, I'm proud of the stance that Liberal Democrats have taken. We've long called for the recognition of Palestine, and that has finally happened, recognition as a state. We've called on Netanyahu to be sanctioned for his ethnic cleansing, called for his far-right ministers to be sanctioned, and that has happened. We've called for a ban on arms exports to Israel. Will Forster talked about his visit to the Middle East to get a first-hand understanding. I'm really proud that he has done that. And as a local leader here, a leader of Woking Borough Council, I've taken the action prompted by the group here to write to the Surrey Pension Fund regarding their investments. And I'd encourage others to bring pressure there. Individuals can write to them, can ask questions at their meetings. If this is important to you, then you can be part of bringing this pressure. And I'd suggest that that sort of action and donations to those charities that are supporting the people of Gaza is what I would encourage people to do. Thank you.
My name is Ahmed Afana. I'm Palestinian. I live in Woking, and I just want to say thank you very much for putting the time and effort to be out. Luckily, the weather will remain like this for the time being. This vigil is not a rally, so we are going to take the time, because time is something that we have, they don't. Space is something that we have, and they don't. Shelter, if it rains, something that we have, and they don't. Peace, security, something that we have, they don't. It is about humanity and dignity, and refusal to look away, because it feels like people start to look away just because the word ceasefire has been mentioned. I've been asked by one of the journalists earlier, why are you doing it? And there's no clear answer for that one. No, there's no straightforward answer to that one. But I think the way that we should see it is we owe them the truth. This is the least thing we can do. Actions, yes, we might think that our actions are very limited of what we can and we cannot do. But words are not limited. Standing here, speaking the truth, against every single challenge that we've been facing, and sadly, since the ceasefire, This country's been far and far more challenging against the truth. We've seen with what the government's doing here. So we owe them to stand up and speak. Speak with respect, speak with knowledge, but speak.
I'll just read a short poem I wrote. There was an exhibition of photos from Gaza in P21 Gallery in London, and there was a picture of a little girl whose hands had been amputated. How can a feeling like this be expressed? They continue to massacre. The child with her arms cut off, saying that she will no longer be able to comb her hair by herself. Her silent judgment and anger will burn down their fascist worlds. We have been indicted and convicted by her silent gaze. Quote, after today, I won't be able to comb my hair by myself. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Thank you. Thank you.
About two and a half weeks ago, I had a text from one of our councillors, Atiyah, I don't know if she's here, who has, for the delight of, saying, we have a Palestinian family from Gaza who just arrived to Woking about two and a half weeks ago, and they are in need of the support and love that we can give them in terms of the journey, the ordeal that we have been through. And I had the privilege of meeting them a couple of times. That they here, Hashim and Wissam, and their son Muhammad was a delightful young man. And he has mustered the courage to come forward and just tell you to stand here today and just share his experience of being a young man, survived the genocide in Gaza for the last 2 years and made it all the way here to the UK. It is not on the schedule, but he came to me this morning. It's like, can I please speak and share my experience about what they've been through? So, Muhammad, come forward, please.
Hello, everyone. Let me introduce myself first. Hello, everyone. Let me introduce myself first. I'm Muhammad. I'm 16 years old. I came to the UK 4 months ago. Firstly, let's agree on one thing, that no one truly finds peace except in their own country. 2 years ago, I was like any child in my age, preparing to start a new school year, until the tragic date, 7th of October 2023, when everything changed. From that date, we stayed in Rafah for 3 months while the bombing continued intensely. After that, my father made the hardest decision to get us out to Egypt. Leaving Gaza cost a large amount of money, and because we are 6 people, my father gave everything he owned, all his savings, just to take us out of that nightmare. In Egypt, working did not even cover half of the rent. But what we could do? Eventually, my father managed to come to the UK after working with all his strength, and later my mom and I joined him because I am under 18, but there are 3 of my siblings still in Egypt, and my father has filed a legal case to bring them here. And I pray every day that this will succeed. Today we are thinking about children who suffer from difficult circumstances. They live in tents, which is sinking every day by rain, and they didn't have enough food, warming, and they live in danger every day. There is no safety. These are the people I belong to. I hope one day they achieve their little dream.